Opposition. Let's talk about it. In one of my previous videos, I talked a little bit about opposition and how it can help you and fuel you. Today, I want to break down the power of opposition. So most often as an entrepreneur, we think that opposition is really bad. We set a goal, right? We have this intention to go attain either money or love or happiness or some sort of physical thing. And as we move towards there, we feel sometimes like it can be hard, right? It's like, man, is everything just in the world trying to stop me from attaining this? Well, sometimes it might seem that way. And for good reason. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. To every push, there is a pull. To every pull, a push. To every fight, there is a flight. To every allergy, there is an addiction. Okay? So to every goal, to everything that I want to go attain, to every feeling of moving forward, there's also going to be the feeling of moving back. So it's part of nature. And you can be grateful for that. Imagine if, for example, you take a couple different plants, right? You have one plant that grows in the soil, like our girls. We had this grass that we planted, and it's in this dish, and the soil is super soft. There's like no resistance whatsoever, and super soft. They get all the nutrients they want, and they grow fast. You can also reach in there and pull the grass right out. Like, it just can die super quick. So where there's very little resistance, there's also very little strength. And the key here is, if you take another of the same kind of grass and plant it in harder soil that it has to earn its right to be there, it's got to find the nutrients, it's got to like anchor in and really dig deep. You try to pull up those things, they're like in there, right? Especially if you're from Arkansas, it's like a rock garden and you're like heaving and hoeing. You can't pull out that grass, right? So you can have the same person going for the same goal, and one might have things easy for them. It might seem that way. But the other person might seem like everything's going against them. And this one might look at this one and say, oh, I wish my life was more like theirs. They have everything so easy. They've got the health, they've got the relationships, they've got the money. But what you don't realize is you have so much kinetic energy, so much potential energy to transform into something so much greater than they could ever dream of. Because energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be transferred. So if I have all this energy right here, all this struggle, all this force against me, when I start to move forward, I will be able to move forward with that exact amount of force. So if I feel like I've been through tons of problems, which I've been through a few, I grew up and I struggled with pornography addictions and suicidal thoughts and depression and struggling to feel like I had to save all my family and had all sorts of weird stuff that I went through and struggled a lot with money, barely making less than $1,000 a month, like really struggling. But I knew that that's all it was energy. And that if I struggled that much, then I had that much potential to succeed or more. So I turned that amount of struggle into amount of success. And from one year to the next, one year I was making less than $12,500. To the next year I made over $135,000. Also, I was terrified of relationships. I had seen my mom go through 4 divorces, my dad through 2. I had a lot of opposition in relationships. I had struggled in relationships. I only dated like one person growing up. And it was tough. And I felt like I was just going to screw it up all the time. And so I knew, though, that if I had that much resistance, then I knew whatever I was going to create was going to be an amazing relationship because I don't quit and I don't stop and I don't give up. So neither do you, because you're an unstoppablepreneur and you're here watching this because you know you have a message inside. You have a mission as a leader to go make an impact, and whatever resistance happens, you know you have that much more potential to create more abundance in your life. So if you have things going against you, realize that that is energy. That's all it is. And that same amount of intention is and can be countered and turned into something very productive. I had a wise mentor of mine said, give me a riot and I'll make you a millionaire. Why? Well, look at the Great Depression. It was a time where there was a lot of chaos happening, a lot of negative energy, a lot of depression, right? A lot of not having money. But some of the first millionaires were made during the Depression. So if you look at that, why? Because they took what was happening and they turned it for something greater. And you can too. You can take what's happening in your life or in someone else's life that you're around and switch that energy into productivity, into serving, into creation, and actually get the results that you want. So just remember that. Next time you're struggling with something, next time you're going through something, just realize, great, all this is energy. I could create a story around it, make it even worse, and say why I think I'm in this and how it's a bad thing and why me. Or I could even create the story of there's lessons that I need to learn, and so I must just learn the lessons of life through struggle the rest of my life. Well, there's as much lesson in this as there is in this. They're all going to teach you. But the question is, which one are you addicted to? Which one are you avoiding the most? So if you have opposition happening all the time in your life, but you're not creating something you want, then I'm going to challenge you to turn it, to change it. You're good at this part, so do this. Can you learn the lesson out of the success more than the failure? Sure, we all learn through failure. Sure, we all learn through the struggle. But also, we learn through the successes. Yes, they're both important. But some of us get so addicted to the struggle that we avoid the success because we think we need the struggle to teach us. And as long as you think you have to struggle the rest of your life to learn, then guess what? When you're like, hey, I want to learn something new, what are you doing? You're just saying, hey, give me a huge struggle so I can learn something. But the reality is what you created. So you could either say, yes, I do want to learn through struggle, or you could say, hey, you know what? I'm kind of done with the struggling learning piece. I want to learn through success and choose to learn by succeeding instead of by failing. Cool? Yes, there's lessons in failing. Yes, yes, yes. But are you addicted to that? If so, change that. Make some changes so that you can succeed and have it be easier for you. Cool? All right. If this has helped you, like, subscribe, join the channel. That helps me grow, helps me get these messages out. Also, if you would like to learn how to make some shifts, how to switch these types of energy, then join the 10-day challenge. The link's down below, and you can just click the drop arrow. There's a challenge that you can join. Go through that. We've had well over 350 people go through it. Now we're almost up to like 400 people that are going through it. So as you go through, you can see that you are a creator of your reality. And if something is happening in opposition, guess what? You can use the same energy to create something you want. Cool? All right. I'd love to hear your comments. What are you creating? What did you learn out of this lesson today? And if you want to join the challenge, links down below. And thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for who you are. Go be unstoppable. We'll see you in the next video.